Howdy doody, Ben.
How to do?
Tuesday night, normally we would do a spitball, but we're going to switch it around and do our reaction video. So most weeks we see a film and we react to it. Every other week.
I thought you were going to play a video of two girls in a cup. And then it was just going to be like us going...
Welcome to this
cup.
Week's episode of Two Guys in a Cup. Never mind. No. So we saw Guy Ritchie's new film Wrath of Man, and God help the people that have just gone along with the hashtag Wrath of Man and found this video, and that's what they get.
That's what they get. Who would have thought? Who other than the Good Movie Monday podcast people could join together Wrath of Man and Two Girls One Cup?
Exactly right. So
Guy Ritchie is furiously clicking on the hashtag, going, "What the fuck?"
If that is how you stumbled across us, we have a podcast called Good Movie Monday. It's every Monday, and we do these midweek videos. They're just sort of off the cuff, ad lib sort of stuff without any edits or anything like that. So, Wrath of Man, I love this film. I really got a kick out of it, and I think it's I wrote this in my review. It's the least Guy Ritchie film to date. I think Aladdin is more of a Guy Ritchie film than this one.
Right.
And maybe I'm like clutching at straws there, but I'd really because Aladdin, I can identify Guy Ritchie moments.
So I haven't seen Swept Away, so I don't know.
Well, yeah, it kind of still has that cheekiness to it, with the camera and the dialogue. With this one, it's just a straight.
I mean, it's almost as if like Jason Statham is the extension of Guy Ritchie. Like in this film, he plays it so deadpan, and almost completely lacking in personality.
Yeah.
Except there's a couple of bits where he kind of gives Josh, especially Josh Hartnett, shit.
A little bit of shit.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Like, you make poo-poo, it's a great bit.
That's right.
For the majority of the film, he does not break that kind of stoic kind of character. And like I did read a lot of reviews where they're talking about how that's like very Jason Statham. Like, well, really.
That includes mine though, because I did say Jason Statham was interchangeable. Like he's playing Jason Statham. Like he's.
But that's the funny thing. Like if you watch the other Guy Ritchie, like he's actually quite a character. He's not actually kind of like. I didn't mean from Guy Ritchie films. I just mean like from his Transporter films or for any of the other give or take films. Yeah.
But as far as Guy Ritchie films, I did not connect it. If I'd watched this without knowing who directed, I would never.
Yeah, wouldn't have picked it as Guy Ritchie.
It's almost like the more intense scenes from something like Heat or the start of Dark Knight with the heist stuff, dialed up to 10 the entire way.
The entire way through. I mean, it's funny because like a lot of the criticism of The Gentleman, which I loved, was that it's like, I mean, everyone said it was like a return to form for Guy Ritchie doing Guy Ritchie. And that was somehow like the criticism, and I was like, well, like I love Snatch, I love Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. Why wouldn't I want him to return to form? Like I don't understand that criticism.
Yeah, every single director that kind of that moves away from form, you'd like to see them return to form. It's a natural
do what the same but different. Is
a natural expectation, and that The Gentleman felt like the third part in that trilogy.
Yeah.
In fact, I think it's his best film, to be honest with you.
Yeah, like I would kind of go along with that.
Yeah.
And this one is completely different.
Yeah.
And like very kind of straight down the line in that regard. It is a remake.
Yep.
Of a French film called Le Conveyeur or The Cash Truck, which I have not been able to find
anyway.
Like locally. There is a DVD available on like one of the Amazons, but I don't know if it has English subtitles or not, which is very frustrating. And I've seen a clip on it and I don't understand what the hell they're saying, but it looks super intense.
Do you know one thing, just while it comes to my mind, I found interesting about this film is it takes place in the world of like cash-in-transit armoured trucks. And up until last year, my wife had spent nearly 15 years in that industry as one of those drivers.
Right.
So watching this film, I knew half the lingo. I knew the processes. It was fascinating to watch. Obviously, being in America, the security is a little more heightened.
Yeah.
But it's no different. Like, and it was just to now that she's out of it, to watch that industry under that kind of pressure and that kind of attack.
Yeah.
Scary stuff.
But you think it's like, surely it's an industry that is slowly going extinct.
Yes and no. Like, it's definitely, I mean, that's why she's not there anymore, because there were redundancies made. But it's a shifting industry. Like, there's still a lot of precious cargo that's not money that they use. I mean, in Victoria, they transport the Brownlow. There are lots of companies. They do. You watch the Brownlows.
Could you imagine somebody organising a heist on this level to take the Brownlow?
Yeah, I know.
Like, talk about things people shouldn't give a fuck about.
But you get my point. Same with jewelers and things like that.
They transport the Oscars envelopes?
They get Armaguard too, or Armaguard's the name of the company. They get them to transport like all the jewelry from jeweler shops and stuff like that. Anyway, the industry is not going anywhere. It's just a changed industry.
Right.
Yep. My point being, watching it with that perspective was a bit scary, knowing that she was on the line every day doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because we watched Money Movers not long ago, which is the Bruce Beresford Aussie film about the same kind of thing. Which actually, that's a never put. I should, in my review, I should have drawn that comparison.
Like that would be a good double.
A great double because it's the same story almost.
Yeah.
You know, like,
but one has Brian Brown. So.
Yeah, without the same twist. But you know, and
Yeah.
speaking of twists, this is a movie riddled with them, and it's very hard to write about this film without giving anything away.
Yeah, which you don't really want to do. Like, it's almost worth going in blind.
And I've spoken to people when I've told them how good this movie was. They said to me, well, I've watched the trailer. It doesn't grab me. I'm like, the trailer is not the film at all in any way, shape, or form.
It isn't one of those films where the whole movie is the best bits of the trailer.
They practically give you the first 5 to 10 minutes in the trailer because that's all they can give you.
Yeah.
Which is what I loved about this film. It caught me off guard in a big way. And the sound design.
Yes.
Like, it permeates.
Super intense and constant.
Yeah, a fellow film writer of ours, Nadine Whitney, mentioned to me that the sound design on this one was very much like Sicario, which I never really drew that comparison. And it is that the constant bass that doesn't relent. It goes, like from the moment the action starts to the end of the film, it's there.
Same with I'm pretty sure in Underwater, that's the sound design in that film as well. It's just like a constant kind of bass hum that just keeps you on the edge. Like it really ramps up the tension.
Bongo under the water.
Like, boom. Like you're waiting for it to break.
Yeah.
And give you a bit of an emotional release.
Yes.
And it kind of doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And I actually really liked Nadine's review of this film on the Mr. Movie.
It was good. It was like we write from different perspectives, her and I. Like I write from an emotional place and she writes from an analytical place. And I do enjoy reading her reviews because quite often I get mine out first and then I read hers and like she just sheds more light, you know. Definitely good. We're hoping to get her involved in the show sometime soon.
That'd be cool.
Yes. Anyway, I think it's a great film. Highly recommend going and see it. It's in cinemas now, I believe.
Through our good friends at Studio Canal.
Yes.
A Canal Plus company.
So we're going to play you the trailer, but don't let this trailer, dissuade you because it's
It gets 2 thumbs up from these 2 guys.
It's trademarked.
Trademarked. Oh, fuck.
Knuckles.
2 knuckles up. The COVID thumbs. 2 elbows up.
That's a weenus.
Yeah. Constantly playing with my weenus.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new addition. H.
Portico Security specialize in cash trucks across LA.
Do you have any idea how dangerous this job can be?
Some out there, yeah. We ain't the predators. We're the prey.
You ready?
Ready.
This is your temporary sidearm.
What happens if we're putting pistols in a machine gun fight?
Do you have a problem?
I don't know. Do I?
It's a 10 grand drop. You should have been back 5 minutes ago.
They're serious! Leave this to me. Get in the truck next time! Sorry, pal. Who is this lunatic?
It doesn't feel right. It's like he wants trucks to get hit. He's not a cop.
But if he's not a cop, what is he?
A while back, we lost 2 guards, a civilian too.
There was an investigation.
They still haven't found the scum who did it.
You were in an accident. My son. He didn't make it. I need to know who killed my son.
The tree has been shook, and it's been shook hard. We've scorched the earth.
You started by saying you'd do anything. But what I'm hearing is, you think you've done everything.
I can see it's gonna be a long night.
It's gotta be an inside job. in 2 weeks. You only wish you could do in 20 years. But I do bear a grudge.